All right, so welcome back. We're going to start talking about body content. So far we've gone over what is HTML, what are tags, how do we set up a website or an HTML page so we can start viewing it and working on it. We have that all set up. We've gone over the head and the body. The head does not or should not produce any content for the most part. The head should just describe the page and other meta behind the scenes data and information, such as the title, which is not part of the content of the page. The title is above the page and outside of the content. The browser, which is this window, which is Chrome for me, and I recommend you do all of your development in Chrome and then test it in the other ones, because Chrome is the most used one. This browser knows how to read our HTML and display it in a standardized way that all other browsers do, for the most part. So let's talk about the most basic piece of content of our website. Now, we can create content like this that essentially has no attributes, no description. We can write whatever we want. It can be as long as we want. And just to show you, spaces really don't matter. So let's look at what this does, okay? All right, so as you see, spaces kind of matter, but line breaks have become spaces here. And yeah, spaces really don't matter in what we just did. Let's, just to show, let's do that there. So yeah, a space and a line break are the same thing, essentially. But if we actually do want a line break, there's this thing called a break tag, or maybe it's called a line break tag. But essentially, it looks like that. Like that. That's how I'll teach it to you. So what this is doing, and let me just show you, this will break it after this big blurb of SOID, blah, 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 blah. So we should have two lines. And voila, we have two lines. Now let's say we want to put a space in between there. So we would add another line break, and that would tell our browser to insert another line right there, or to break that line and go to the next line right there. So let's look at this. Boom, now we have another space there. So let me just break down this tag, this break tag. We have the open tag, and then BR, which stands for break, and then the closing backslash, similar to down here, and then the closing tag, or the closing greater than symbol. Because a line break does not have any content within it, there would be no reason to put text inside of a line break, because it is essentially nothing. And that's, it is nothing but just telling it to go to the next line. There is no opening and closing tag for the line break. Rather, there is just an opening tag with this essentially closing symbol. So I forget exactly what the name of these specifically are, but there's opening and closing tags such as body in HTML, and then there are the tags that just kind of close themselves. Images are another thing that kind of close themselves. You don't even necessarily need this tag, quite frankly. But I think it's considered good practice through how websites have been historically to include that with line breaks. All right, so let's make all of our lines break. There. So it should look just like we set it up, all the content. All right, so let's go look at our page. And there we have it. It looks just like we set it up before. So this is how we put content on a page and actually break it so that it's not all on the same line like HTML defaults to.